In today's video, we will be going over the most recognized AI language models that are currently out there in the market and seeing the differences between all of them. Now, the next tool that we will be going over, it is the Microsoft Copilot. And I believe that Microsoft Copilot created a ultimate competition towards Gemini, because similarly to Gemini, you can integrate Microsoft Copilot towards your 365 workspace. On my hand, I don't really use Microsoft Copilot that much because all of my work is actually running on Google Workspace. However, I believe this is a great thing to use when you're using a Microsoft 365 workspace. I did play around for quite a bit of time with Microsoft Copilot to see its responses and capabilities. You can also use Microsoft Copilot as a research buddy because it also can provide you up-to-date information, and similarly towards Gemini, it can also provide you with resources that it used within its answer. Now, another great feature that I believe Microsoft did a very great job on is pretty much integrating its voice model towards the free version and even pro version. Comparing it to Gemini, you can actually speak to Gemini, but Gemini won't speak to you back. However, on the other hand, this is where Microsoft Copilot excels when it comes to conversations, because it can actually respond to you with a voice to all of your queries.
Sure, I'd be happy to help with that. Volcanoes are fascinating geological formations that occur when molten rock, gases, and other materials from beneath the Earth's crust escape to the surface.
So if you had enough of reading, then this is where you can just generally talk to Microsoft like you would talk to a friend. Now, with all those great features from Microsoft, there are certain limitations when it comes to doing certain action. And the first one that I can see is creating your own prompt version AI, where you can actually do it with the GPT models and you cannot do it in Microsoft. However, it does offer you something similar, which is those small little plugins that you can find on the side. And those are pretty much pre-made prompt by somebody else, and which you can actually activate for doing a specific action for you. And one of the fun plugins that I played around with a lot is actually the Suno plugin, where you can ask Microsoft Copilot to generate you a song. And honestly speaking, I really like some of the songs that it was able to generate for me.
Gleaming lights guide our way, new horizons every day.
Now, in my opinion, Microsoft did an amazing job when it comes to creating the Copilot, because it is a very strong, powerful tool. It also can be integrated within your workspace, and also it has certain plugins that you can play around for fun. Now, the next AI language model that I want to discuss, it is a language model that is developed by Elon Musk, which is Grok. And it's a very interesting tool for me because it does seem like it is a social media AI tool, and the way you access it is you actually have to create an account on X, formerly known as Twitter, and this is where you can actually access Grok. Now, Grok 1 was actually launched on last November 2023, and it generates its own unique purpose. Lately, the new Grok was launched, which is the Grok 2, which is a updated and more powerful version. Now, I will not go too much into details because I wanted to play around a bit with Grok. However, it is still not available within my region. However, I did some research on Grok and listened to other people's opinions on Grok, so I'll just briefly be mentioning what other people are saying. Now, as any other AI language model, you can pretty much use it as a research, because you can ask certain questions and it will provide you up-to-date information on what is happening within the internet. What I also noticed, and that's what really convinced me that this AI language model is developed for social media, is because you can actually share your own conversation as a post on Twitter. Now, based on the review of Skill Leap AI, I've noticed that he tried different ways of utilizing Grok. However, he did try to test it if it's up to date with information. And he asked a question about the recent Olympic Games that happened and unfortunately Grok wasn't able to answer that specific information. However, if you ask Grok to find certain tweets or information from X, then you can actually find those information much quicker, and all of them are updated because it generally finds you the latest tweets that has been posted. Now, he also tested on its coding abilities, and he created a prompt asking if Grok can generate a game out of code. And it did seem that it had certain problems on creating the functionality of the game or even general logic. So I think this is something that has to be improved. Now, I won't say a lot about my personal opinion on Grok because I still didn't get a chance to test Grok. However, I suggest watching Skill Leap AI video and review on Grok so you can get a better understanding on what it's exactly about. Now, the last tool that I will be going over, it is Perplexity AI. That was launched in August 2022. Now, I tested a bit of this AI tool, and it does seem that it has certain similar qualities to Copilot and Gemini. It pretty much acts like a advanced search engine. Now, the great part that I really like about its responses is that it's able to provide you certain relevant information, and it links sources that it supported its answer on. Now, when I compared it with ChatGPT, I do believe that Perplexity can generate you more accurate responses when it comes to certain researches and also certain discussion on complex topics. Now, one of the best features that I really like about Perplexity, it is that it's generally able to provide certain other following up questions on certain topics that you might not much know about. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're discovering a new topic and you don't even know what questions you should ask or what kind of knowledge you should aim for, then I believe that the follow-up questions feature, it is awesome when it comes to diving deeper into the unknown topic. Another great feature about Perplexity, it offers the collection option, where pretty much you can categorize and save a lot of different information or even conversation that you had with Perplexity. And also the best part is that you can actually just create a custom prompt of how do you want to receive your information in a specific way. So it's really great when it comes to customizing certain responses, and it's a bit similar what the GPT's model are about. Now, the great feature as well that you can find it in Perplexity, it's its focus points. Now, this option, it can generally help you to pretty much create a focus point on the responses that you want to receive. So you can choose it from academic writing or even writing focused outputs. Now, what I also noticed in the Pro version, you can have access to different AI models such as ChatGPT 4, Claude AI, Gemini, and even image generator models such as DALL-E, which is, I believe, that is very great for utilizing Perplexity. Now, overall opinion about Perplexity, it is actually an amazing research tool that is purely designed for researching certain activities. And in my opinion, this might be better than actual other tools like Gemini or even Copilot, because it is really structured in a way of proper research. And the great part is that I actually use Perplexity for is when I'm researching certain topics that I don't know much about. And the great feature is that it can actually provide you the questions you should further ask when doing this research. Those are just AI models that really stands out within the market. Now, what I see is that there are a lot of similarities between those models. However, I can also see, based on the functionality, that each of its model has its own purpose for a specific reasoning or specific task. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope this gives you a little bit of clarity when it comes to comparing all of those models out there. Thank you again, and I will see you next time.